Hi everyone, I'm Michaela from Macro Makeup, and today we're going to be working on this classic red lip and lined eye, perfect for just about any occasion. I first want to let you know though that all of the products that I'll be using in today's video can be found in the description box down below. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, please feel free to subscribe and leave them down in the comment section down below. Now let's get started. So first off, it's really important to start with a nice base. I've got clean moisturized skin and I'll be going in with the Benefit Porefessional primer just over my T-zone where I have any visible pores, and then I'll be going in with an Illamasqua Satin primer over the high points of my face. I really want the skin to look illuminated and for the light to come through the skin, so this is going to help achieve that look, whereas the Porefessional is really just going to smooth out the skin, ready for foundation. While I let those primers sink into the skin, ready for foundation, I'm going to move on to the eyes, and I'm going to start with MAC Pro Longwear Concealer all over the eyelid just to really smooth out and give us an even base. This also will help prevent from creasing throughout the day. Once I've done that, I'm then going to set it with a little bit of translucent powder, and this will help ensure that your eyeshadows stay and do not crease. Now that we've primed the lid, it's time to move on to a little bit of eyeshadow. I've got quite round eyes with a lot of lid space, so I just wanted to add a little bit of definition to the crease, and I did that with a sort of warm, light cocoa shade, just through the crease with a small fluffy brush. Once you've got that shadow on, just make sure you take a large fluffy brush and really blend out the edges to make sure that there's no real lines there. Then it's everyone's favourite part, liner. What I'm first going to do, and this is my first tip, is to take a kind of dried out gel eyeliner on an angled brush. Now you want quite a stiff angled brush, not too much flexibility in the sense that you're just going to place down a nice trace line. Take a small amount of the product, place it up to the lower lash line heading towards the end of your brow, and just place a small mark. Right, that's the beginning of your eyeliner. Moving over to the other eye, you now need to do the same thing. Line it up with your lower lash line, aiming towards the end of your brow, and place a mark. Now this is where you can actually make sure that they're even, because this is our wing of our liner, okay? Make sure that they're even, and then find the tallest point of your eye, the highest point, and then line it up with a bit of the eyeliner towards the end of the point we just made. This is going to be the bulk of your line. Now, do that on the other side, make sure they're even, and then you can move on. Now that you've got your guideline placed down for your eyeliner, you can now fill it in. Now this is up to you. You can choose pencil, you can choose gel, or you can choose liquid liner. I'm going to be using liquid as I want something quite shiny and rich and black. I'm going to be using the Maybelline Master Precise Liner pen for this. All you have to do now is just fill in that guideline and sharpen up the lines. If you do, however, go out of the lines, just take a pointed Q-tip and a little bit of cleanser and sharpen it up, either below or above. Doesn't matter, and we can always clean it up a little bit more later with a little bit of concealer. Now it's time to curl those lashes and apply some mascara to really open up the eyes. Once you've done that, you're pretty much done with the eyes, so we're now going to move on to the face. I'm going to be using Makeup Forever HD Foundation. I'm just going to dot that all over my skin and bounce it in with a damp beauty blender. This will ensure that we won't have too heavy a foundation on the skin. We're going to make sure to cover up any blemishes with some concealer, not our foundation. Which brings me on to the next point. Cover up any blemishes that you might have with a little bit of concealer. Less is really more here, as you don't want to cake up the skin. Once you've got your concealer and your foundation applied, you can now set just slightly in any areas that you tend to get quite oily. For me, that's down the T-zone, on the temples, and I'm also going to be applying a powder blush and contour, so I'm just going to powder there to ensure the powder goes over the foundation and concealer better. Then I'm going to take a powder bronzer and I'm going to take that along the temples and high points of the forehead just to warm up the complexion a little bit. I'm also going to bring it down onto the cheekbones as well, just to add a little bit more warmth. Then I'm going to take an ashy contour shade and I'm going to lightly structure the cheekbone. When it comes to contour, you really don't have to go ham on this. A really small amount will make the difference, trust me. Now it's time to move to the lower lash line. All I'm going to do is take the same shadow I used in the crease, just slightly below the lower lash line. Just add a little bit of depth, nothing too fancy here. Make sure it's really nice and blend it out. Then go ahead and apply some mascara to your lower lashes if you like. Then I'm just going to spoolie through my brows just to give them a little bit of lift. Fill in the ends a little bit, and that's all I'm going to do. Not fussing around with the brows, we want something really nice and natural. Now it's time to move on to the best part of this tutorial, the lips. I'm first going to line the lips, as this is going to give us a really nice structure to work with. Line them nice and sharply and fill them in slightly to ensure a longer lasting lip colour. Once you've got those lips lined, it's time for lipstick. I always prefer to use a squared off lip brush for the reason that you can really make sure you get a nice sharp line on the lip line for a very structured classic red lip. Always make sure with red lipstick to blot any excess just to make sure it doesn't end up on your teeth. And there you have it, the classic red lip and lined eye, perfect for just about any occasion. I've been Michaela and you've been watching Macro Makeup. Hope to see you next time.